When I bought this house, it did not have a deck outside my master bedroom. And like my master bedroom is my sanctuary, this is an extension to the outdoors for that sanctuary. And I like to come out here and just feel the sun, take some time to breathe. Again, if I come out here and my kids don't know, a lot of times I can have at least a few minutes by myself where it's really quiet, and then they figure out I'm here and then they come and join me, which is great. But another thing I want to address, one of the things that I believe in really deeply is creating space for things that you want and love. And so I have 2 swings up here, and this one is usually empty. This is usually the one that I sit in. But as I have contemplated the life that I want to have and created space for remembering what I had in my mind, these 2 chairs were actually Grant and I's favorite chairs. And when we lived in St. George, right before he passed away, we would come and sit on these 2 swings together and we would just talk and talk. We had a little outdoor porch, not outside our bedroom, but outside of the top level, just like this, in the family room. And we had one of the most connecting chats we've ever had just a few weeks before he died, where we were able to really address some of the things that were both really painful for both of us in our relationship. And it was such a moment of beautiful connection and healing that I had with him. And I'm so grateful that I got to have that right before he died. And so I've always kept these swings because I feel like having an empty swing next to me represents where his place was, right? But also I still have it out here because I want it to be filled again. And so this is one of those processes of projecting what it is that I truly desire, and that's to be with a partner that I love again. And so as I make space for that, the reality is that's not the case, and it's really hard for me to find somebody that I haven't felt what I felt with my husband, and that's what I'm looking for. And so as I've, tried to date a little bit here and there, it's obviously been really challenging because I have 4 kids and I don't know how to date with kids. I have never dated with kids. I never intended to date with kids, but that's something that I have been contemplating. How do I do this? I haven't figured it out yet. But in the meantime, I have space for a person to be in my life. The other thing that I have out here that helps me to remember and really dig into why am I here? Why am I still alive? What do I want to make of my life? Is my husband's gravestone is right there. And so I come out here and I get to say hello and good morning to him. Not that I really believe that he's there, or, he was cremated, so his body is not actually out here. I still have his ashes in my room. I did put some of his ashes out there, but it's a monument, and it's monumental of the life that he lived, and it's a reminder for me to live as fully as he did, especially on the days where I'm mad at him and I don't feel like it, and I feel like there's so much going on, and sometimes I'll look at that and be like, what a waste of rock space that you're sitting there looking at me from your gravestone when you should be here and you should be helping me raise the kids and you should be with me and you should be alive. And none of those things are true. But it's a reminder to me that I do always have what I need. And sometimes that reminder is really important to me. And so although it might seem a little odd to have a gravestone in my backyard, I did do a whole video on why I did that and the feeling of the closeness that I want to have with him. And that's why I chose not to put his headstone in a cemetery, because I wanted it here. I wanted it to be a part of our everyday lives and to remind us that in the end, we all end up looking like that. And between now and then, what kind of life do I want to live? And so it's a stark reminder for me to make sure that the choices I'm making are in alignment with living a life that's full. And that being said, it's not that every day is like that or ideal, but it's just that intention that I created behind why I wanted it here, that reminder to give myself and my kids that in the end, we all die. And what's really important is how we live between now and then. And so as I come out here, I contemplate, here's my husband, here's my empty chair. I want it to be filled with, somebody that I feel the way I did about Grant, and even more, and even create a better relationship for my future. And though that's not the case, I feel like as you create space for the things that you truly want and desire and approach them with patience, the right situation will come along and those spaces will be filled with what it is that I truly want. And as I approach life that way, I feel like even though there's so many things that I don't do well, there's so many aspects of grief that are so painful, it feels like my life is never going to be what it once was, where I lived in the bliss of ignorance when it comes to those really hard and traumatic things that happen in your life. Not that my life has always been easy, including myself has challenges along the way, but when you lose a spouse, that's one of those things that just rocks your world in a way that it feels like it's gonna break it. And I sometimes wonder if that's a recoverable break. And at the same time, I know that it is, also knowing that I'll never be the person I was before that happened. And so as I contemplate all these things, it's just one of those really introspective things that I get to look at every single day that makes me a person that's more connected with who I am and the hardness of aspects of my life. And that person is a person that I love getting to know within myself. And so as I create these spaces around myself, you know, this deck, this little memorial site, different things, it's about the intention of having a dream and making it come true, because I felt one of the things that is the most conducive to falling into depression is when I lose hope. And if there's something that I'm working towards, if there's something that I want, I feel a lot of hope and I get that motivation. And if it doesn't work out and things don't happen the way I had hoped, yes, I lean into it. Yes, I accept it. And when I don't feel like it's gonna work out, I do fall into a lot of sadness and depression, and it's a phase. And then I look for something new to create new hope with. And so I like doing all these projects because it helps give me purpose, and the intention behind why I'm creating something is that expression of hope. And then when it's here, like this back porch deck that I've always dreamed of having off of a master bedroom, this house didn't come with that, and that was always one of my bucket list dreams for a house, a feature where, you know, the master bedroom had a walkout deck. This didn't have that, and it was one of the only things on my list this house didn't have when I was looking for it. And so I was able to create it and design it and make it even better than it possibly would have been had it already been here. And that's the beauty of design and creation. And every aspect of our lives are possible for that to be designed and created. And that's what I'm doing as I continue to create hope for myself and take the time to grieve and mourn whenever it is that I need it, and really lean into that and know that on the other end, I come out a better person. And even though I wish it didn't happen, I wish my husband was still here, I wish he hadn't died, I often wonder what would my life be like had that not happened, and who would I be, and would I love myself as much as I do now? Because the biggest lesson I've learned through this entire process is how to truly contemplate the love that I have for myself in all of the awful messiness that life creates in chaos that I've had to manage since I lost my husband. And all that being said, I really love the person that I am now. And I also know that I'll never stop missing him, and that even if this seat does get filled with somebody that I love, he's always going to be a part of my world and the love that I have for him and somebody new. And because the relationship we had was so wonderful and beautiful, knowing that the relationship that I'll create in the future has to be that good and better. Otherwise, I'm not interested, and I just want to continue to create this relationship with myself where I learn what true, deep, enduring love is, because in the end, I know that I'm the only person I'm ever gonna always be with.